Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. I feel really extra animated all of a sudden. Alright, I'm excited. Let's see where this is going. Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. Stacy DeMarco. For some reason, I want to call her Stephanie today. Yesterday and today, actually. Don't know what's up with that, but it's Stacy. Definitely Stacy. S-T-A-C-E-Y. Why? I don't know. Okay, we got some 3. Okay. Okay. What's coming on? What's going? I'm getting kind of like I am kind of charged, and I'm wondering if this is going to be kind of like when you get to the top of that first drop for the roller coaster and you go, whew. I'm thinking it might be scary, but in that way, kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen, but then it's okay. It's kind of like a rush that you're like, I don't know if this is going to work out, and then it's okay. Let's see how it goes. I'll go a little farther into it, because there's a very high level of excitement here. And I'm just like, is it me? Like, it's been a couple hours since I've had a cup of coffee, so I'm not thinking that should be it, but who knows. The unexpected with darkness. There's like, see, this is the thing. Just because you can see a lot of angles, it's knowing where it's going to land. It's kind of like, I want to say, is that Plinko? Where you drop the ball and it bounces all the way down and you don't really know exactly where it's going to bounce to. Like, you could start on this side of the board and it could end up way over here. I want to say that's Plinko. I could be wrong. But it's kind of like, you can see all the possibilities. Like, but it's like once in a while, it's kind of like, yeah, I kind of knew that was a possibility, but I didn't really think it was that likely, so I didn't think too much on it. It's kind of like that. Like, I knew that was kind of a possibility, but I didn't think it was that likely, so I didn't think about it too much. I'm getting that energy. And you got like this wintry, coming out of winter feel here. And it's the question, like, is it winter or is there something else happening here? It's kind of like, when I'm getting a wintry feel, it's not about the literal season, unless you're in the southern hemisphere, because I'm thinking you're about to go into winter if you're in the southern hemisphere. And I know there's some southern hemisphere people who watch me, and thank you very much. Thank you very much. No, I'm getting something that's like coming out of that, like, that stasis period. So even no matter where you are in the world, it's like you're coming out of the stasis period and something's coming forward and you're just kind of like, oh, wow, that's going to happen? Well, I knew it was a possibility. I just didn't believe that was going to be the situation. I just didn't think it was likely. Something pops in. Discernment and peace. Discernment and peace. Because I feel like somebody's like shutting you out. You didn't really expect it. You knew it was a possibility, but you didn't expect it. Somebody's literally shutting you out. Discernment and peace, they've just shut you out. They're just kind of like, the Gemini, done. I don't even know what to say about that. I'm not really sure how you're reacting to it, though, because it's kind of like you're not completely shocked. You just didn't really think it was going to happen. The Tower card comes in with the Ace of Wands. They are actively breaking from you. Like, they're just kind of like, nope. Cold turkey. Nope, nope, nope. No more Gemini. I'm done. No, no, no. Nope. Nope, no, no. Not talking about it, not negotiating about it, not going, nope. It's kind of like showing up after work and getting that Dear John or Dear Jane letter, which is just kind of like, they're gone. And they come back. And they took their stuff, and that's it. It's just kind of like, oh, okay. Like, I knew we weren't getting along that well, but I didn't know it was that bad. Like, okay. It's just, especially with the Tower, it does feel very abrupt. Like, and I'm getting, to match it even more into the same energy, the Death card with the Emperor on your side. I'm getting, again, you're not completely shocked. You just didn't think it was really going to happen. You're just kind of like, I knew it was a possibility. I just didn't think it was actually going to happen that way. And the Emperor card is on your side. which is telling me you're in a position of power. This omission, whatever's leaving, that's giving you a position of strength. Like, all right, that's done. So since that's done, since that's gone, I don't really have to worry about that or think about all the possibilities that can go, because the possibilities left. It's kind of like the plane took off and it's halfway to Florida now. There's no possibility to get on it now. Not that flight anyway. So I don't have to worry about what can go there. That's done. You seem to be in a position of power. You seem to accept it pretty quick, like that's what it is. Now I wouldn't say you were like happy about it, because you do have the Five of Cups. I mean, just to be fair, I wouldn't say you were happy about it, but at the same time you accept it and you're like, okay, I have an opening here. Now that that has left, now that is gone, now that that is done, what do I want to put in this spot? So you're accepting it pretty quickly. You're seeing an opening here. You quickly realize I have to decide what I want in that opening. Doesn't mean you're filling it quickly. I'm just saying I have to start thinking what I want there. You know what I mean? You're not just filling the seat to fill the seat, but you're like, I have to start thinking of it now, who I want in the seat, what I want in the seat, what I want to do with this space. Do I even want somebody there? Do I want to just use it to put boxes in the seat? Instead of having a person in the seat, do I want to just put boxes there? Do I want to do something different? What do I want to do? And you're coming forward slowly, but I feel like you're also protecting this void, which may sound strange, but it's kind of like it's an opening, but you're like, I don't want somebody else deciding how I'm going to fill this void. So I'm kind of going to block it. Maybe I'll put literally some boxes in this chair for now so that nobody else can sit there. That's how I'll block it. That's how I'll protect myself. Assessing reversed. Okay, so taking your time, deciding what you want to fill the void with is good. But the assessing reversed is telling me don't end up in like a holding pattern. Don't end up just kind of going over and going over and going over. Don't do that Groundhog Day thing. If you ever seen that movie, I saw the version with Bill Murray. I think they've done a remake since then. But basically where you keep living the same day over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Don't get in a holding pattern with this. Turn this right side up, because this is coming in, like, it's coming in face down, saying you might not realize that you're considering possibility after possibility after possibility after possibility after possibility after possibility. Like, it just keeps going. If you don't do something with it, you're wasting an opportunity. And they're saying, be careful, you might end up wasting it. You want to make sure this is right side up. Like, go towards it. Like, I would say at the very least, like, and this has worked for me, I don't know, you have to decide if this is right for you. Set yourself a time limit, and literally I've put myself a reminder on my phone. Like, I give myself maybe a month to decide what I'm going to do. And I'll put a reminder in my phone, and then when that reminder comes up, like, okay, I need to start making a decision. I need to start, moving towards a decision and choose what I want. So if you want to give yourself even 3 months or whatever, give yourself a time limit. Define your own time, because if you're the one setting the schedule, like, you have the ability to change it if you decide to. But if you do that, I recommend holding to it and, like, all right, I'm going to give myself like 3 months to think about possibilities, but then I have to start moving towards something. If you put that phone reminder in, I know it may sound ridiculous, it will trigger you. And also part of your brain will already be there, kind of like, oh yeah, I said I was going to make a decision. It's like, that time flew by quick. And if you also look at it, that's a lot of time where 3 months is a lot of time. If a lot of things can happen. You can plant something and it can grow significantly in 3 months. I'm just saying. Be careful not to end up in the holding pattern. That's what I'm getting. Because there is something really good here for you, which is really, like, I'm having a hard time grabbing it, I'm noticing. The Ace of Cups. You won't get it if you're stuck in that holding pattern. The Ace of Cups, you can't have the Ace of Cups if you don't get out of the holding pattern, because you're the one in control of making this choice. If you keep that void protected and you keep that seat filled with boxes so nobody can sit there, you can't get the gift that's meant to be in that seat, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be a person, but whatever the next thing is coming through, you know what I mean? Whatever this energy has opened up for you when it left, you can't get the next available abundance if you just keep that void holding. You know what I mean? You got to fill it with something to get this Ace of Cups. But if you're not allowing it to come forward, if you're just like, nope, I want to keep thinking, holding pattern. If you just stay in that energy, it's not going to wait forever. It's going to move on. If you define how long you want that to do, right in the beginning, I feel like when you have this void, if you just think to yourself, well, how long do I want to allow myself to stay in this moment? Maybe it's a week, maybe it's a month, maybe it's 3 months. I wouldn't go any farther than 6 months. I'm thinking 3 months is better, but you do what you got to do. You make your own decision. You're the executive of your life. Let's remember that. This is there, though, something really good, but there's boundaries and patience. Whatever it is waiting for you will not force itself into your life. I'm thinking you really don't want, I don't think you really want that to happen. I don't think you want, here, enjoy this. It kind of reminds me when I was a kid. You're going to sit there and eat it and you're going to like it. It reminds me of that. Like, you're going to like that. You're going to have that pie and you're going to like it. Like, I just remember that being yelled at me once when I was a kid. I remember thinking it was so funny, like, oh, it's a treat and I better like it or else what? I just remember thinking that. But basically what I'm saying is, like, this abundance is not going to force itself on you. It's not going to force itself on you. You have to open the door. I'm not saying you have to even actively search. You just have to open up the seat. Take the boxes out of that seat. Leave the void open and be like, I'm open to something coming in and filling this. I'm going to remove my boxes from the seat so somebody can come and sit here if I decide they're worthy of it. Because it's the Page of Swords, which is, they're showing the Princess of Swords, which I like this deck because it kind of melds the Page and Knight energy. Between the Princess and the Prince, I don't see one being stronger than the other. I think it just depends on the energy and how it folds in. I really feel, for me personally, I feel like these energies meld. Granted, that may not be the intention of the artist who created this, but that's how I feel when I read it. So I'm feeling like a melding of the energy, kind of like a little bit more advancement, more waiting to see how it pulls in, kind of going back and forth. That will allow your abundance to come in. That will allow your Ace of Cups to show up. Patience and boundaries again. Remember that. This Ace of Cups is not going to force itself on you. It's going to wait till you're ready, and it's going to wait till you say it's okay. It's not going to force itself on you. But do you really want it to? Now, I also do realize that when it does come in, you're still kind of nervous about it. It's kind of like, oh boy, somebody wants to sit in the seat. Oh no, the void is going to get filled. I don't know. I was kind of comfortable in my holding pattern. Because I feel like I'm freaking out. Even though it's abundance, it's kind of like you can't just easily accept like it's abundance. You have to be like, oh, I mean, it makes sense. You're just kind of like, it's not a guaranteed win. It looks good, but I don't know. I've done other things that looked good and didn't turn out well. Oh, I don't know. When it does come in, it's not forcing itself on you, but to you it feels like it's going pretty quick. It also looks like it takes a lot of work. There's a lot of work involved. It feels like it's coming in very fast. This energy is very respectful to you, though, is what I'm also getting. Because you got protection with the fear. I'm getting like you're really nervous about what is this really going to take? What is this really going to mean? How is this going to change my life? Is this going to restrict me? I feel like there's a fear of restriction, too. Like, is this going to be overwhelming for me? Am I going to feel restricted? Is it going to be something that I could literally do, but also not really enjoy? Just because I can do it doesn't mean I want to do it. And there's a little fear with that coming in. What does this mean? You're really nervous, kind of like, oh, the void's being filled again. What is this going to mean for me? Where's this going to take me? This is kind of like that roller coaster feel again that I got in the beginning. Self-love is in the environment. Might be explaining why this energy seems to be a little bit more conservative about moving forward. There might be they might have their own hang-ups if it's a person or whatever the situation is. There's something here that needs to be kind of dealt with. I like this. I feel like you match this energy well because you could help somebody talk things out and see things from a different angle. It's kind of like when somebody's mean to themselves and then you get them to realize it's like they're mean to themselves because it's a pattern they learned in childhood to think of themselves as less than. And then you take it to the next level and you're just kind of like, you know what, if that was your niece or if that was some other kid you cared about, would you say that mean thing that you say to yourself to that kid? And getting them across that gap, would you say that to that child? Then why when you were that age, why was that acceptable to say to you? Why should you hold on to that? I think I'm getting a little deep with that, so I don't know if this is going to make it sense. It's basically saying, if you're mean to yourself because of something that happened to you as a kid, and you're still holding yourself to a level of responsibility when you were a kid, like when you were 8 years old, something happened negative, and you take on the blame for that. Another 8-year-old kid that you like, would you expect them, or would you hold them accountable for the same thing? Because it's like sometimes that's the root cause why people are mean to themselves. They hold these guilty things from when they were kids, and then if you kind of get them across the barrier, I'm hoping the Gemini energy, that'll make sense where I'm going with that. The short of it is you're helping people see a different angle, and you're helping people consider being nicer to themselves, because that's what I'm getting here. There's something about that. I don't know. You seem to add in with this person that way too. Like you seem to show them, like, you don't have to view it that way. There's another way to view this. There's another way to handle this. You don't have to look at it as if you're always in the deficit. You can find a way to look at this in a better way to where you're not in the deficit, and you could work towards abundance. I don't know. I feel like I'm making that too complicated, but I feel like it'll make sense for whoever it needs to. So if it seems a little complicated, just move on from it. Don't worry about it. It's not that it has anything to do with intelligence, by the way. It's just if it's not meant to hit for you, then it's not meant to hit for you. So that's why I'm saying move on from it. The World card comes in, the Hermit card, the Path. This person, like when they look at you, they see a good person, but they also have their own hang-ups. Ironically, I feel like they might also have the same reservations that you do. Can I do this? Do I want to do this? Is this something I really want to do? Is this really good? It looks good now. Will it look good later as well? It seems like there's a matching concern here. Kind of like you're going in this with some trepidation. They are as well. Like I feel like you're on the even keel. I feel like this is something like the more you talk with them, like it'll help you both be more comfortable with each other. Kind of like, yeah, I was feeling this way. Oh, me too. I mean, and it's nothing bad against you. Yeah, no, nothing bad against... Yeah, no, nothing bad against you either. Like, I completely understand that. It's kind of like, yeah, I was nervous about doing this. I wasn't sure if I really wanted to, but both of you understanding, because some things start out good but don't stay good. But, like, you're not insulting each other. You're kind of like, yeah, I was feeling that way too, because of things that have happened in the past for me. There's a lot coming forward here. A lot of deep talks, by the way. With the Hermit card, there's a lot of deep talks, a lot of deep conversation. Feels like this is very good. Like you like this type of conversation is what I'm getting. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of angles with it. There's a lot you're helping with this person. I'm feeling for most of you it's a person, and I feel like this person, no matter how they're coming into your life, it doesn't have to be romantic, by the way. However they're coming in, I feel like this is somebody who's going to be around probably to the end of your life. Granted, it's a general read, but this is a very significant connection. And it's just kind of, the door shuts right there. Okay, so the door shuts right there. All right. I think we're good then. Whatever I needed to say, I must have said it. So I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.